Hi, my name's Jack Soul. Thanks so much for stopping by this YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Today's video is going to be a full rig rundown of my latest pedalboard iteration. First and foremost, obviously, I focused on tone for the selection of each pedal. But secondly, I focused on user interface. I've just been learning more and more how much user interface affects your experience while using your pedalboard, especially in a live situation. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video where we'll have our second round subscribers only conversation. Let's get to Signal Chain. Alright, so Signal Chain is my non-Jazzmaster with McNelly P90 pickups. They sound phenomenal. Into the input-output Rockboard module, starting with the Protein, and then it follows the bottom rail all the way to the Rockman. And then it goes up to the Polytune, all the way across the top rail to the Blue Sky, then out to the Iridium. I'm using a Vox sound out of the Iridium. The pedal board is the Rockboard 3.1. It's a phenomenal size pedal board. I wanted to downsize from my last pedal board, and I've been super happy with the 3.1. It's tight, but it helps when you play on smaller stages, and it's just been making sense for me so far. And like I said, I'm using the Rockboard input-output jack, and I have a Rockboard riser under the Deco and the Blue Sky to keep them elevated enough. Rockboard's a friend of the channel, and I'm so glad to be using their stuff, and it's just been working so well. So let's get to some overdrive. We're going to start with the drives and then move on from there. This is my clean tone, just the Iridium. And then this is my Blues Breaker Always On from the Protein. And as you know, the Protein has, when you use use them both at the same time, it's just an awesome tone. I'm going to switch to the bridge. So this is green and blue side on the Protein. I always think about the Protein as like, it's just such a textbook sound, and like I always need one of those pedals that just gets you to the exact textbook first and second gain overdrive, and that's the Protein for me. And then I kind of go over to the Kernom as like a bit more of a wild card tone. And it's because this is my favorite Kernom setting, drive all the way up, mood knob all the way up, and then all the other knobs are as you see them. And it has this kind of battery drained fuzz tone that I just love, and it finds its way onto so many of my board iterations for this exact sound. I just can't see myself getting rid of the Kernom solely even because this setting, but it offers so much more, and I've got lots of videos with the Kernom, so you can check those out. But moving on to the Rockman, actually, with the Kernom, I have the Rockman set up as that classic, really compressed chorus Rockman sound, and here's what that sounds like with the blues breaker. So again, to my ears, this is kind of, you know, that Boston kind of clean tone. But when I pair it with the Kernom instead of the Protein, it's got that classic lead chorusy tone with the Rockman. So that's how I have the Rockman at the moment, but the overdrive tones are really fun too. So again, at the moment, just loving this kind of clean tone. And we'll get to more on the Rockman with the gen loss here. The final part to the puzzle, overdrive wise, is the Sparks. Okay, so as you can hear, I'm kind of using it as a wild card fuzz, and this is kind of what it sounds like. So it's kind of got like a really filtery sound to it, and surprisingly, I really enjoy this sound in a mix. It really cuts through on a solo that's really unique, and I've been really enjoying playing around with the Sparks. Because the Sparks also has a Filtertron sound that I really enjoy using, and it sounds like this. Like you heard there, you kind of got to make sure that you turn it off and on with the red showing on the preset button, or else you're kind of going to get a massive sound. So don't turn this off and this on by accident. And I'm going to kind of skip back to the Fairfield here, and I'm going to show you how I'm using it. And it's actually with the kind of Mkgee tone kind of thing. And this is kind of a tone that everybody's been enjoying playing around with, it seems like, online. But I've really been enjoying playing around with taking that idea and seeing kind of where it can go. And that for me has been starting with the Gen Loss, because it actually has a Porta Studio setting. And if you hold down both foot switches and turn this middle toggle switch all the way to the right, it's a high gain setting. And this is what it sounds like. And it gets you close to, you know, a Mkgee kind of sound. So it's got some hiss already. You can turn that off. But I think it really adds to it. So it's kind of just got that lo-fi saturated. The saturated knob is all the way up. So it's got that really fuzzy sound. Like, I don't think it gets you all the way to the direct sound. But with the Rockman, with the chorus on the first setting, I think it adds a lot to the sound. And then, of course, there's just a bit of reverb. We'll get there, but this is the room with light mod. And then for the gated, like I said with the Fairfield has a low pass gate on it. And I think it sounds really good for that kind of Mkgee tone. And this is a little Mkgee riff that I've been working on. So really pick sensitive. And if you want that ultra fuzzy tone, you have to add the gain, more gain after the Gen Loss. So this is kind of where the Deco comes in and adding some more saturation. And bringing back the tone. Which is pretty cool. I really enjoy just kind of trying to achieve certain sounds with the effects that I have. Because the problem with the JHS 424, in my opinion, is that it should it not sound like it's going direct when it's going through an amp? Like, wouldn't that be what people want? Because most things kind of sound... I have a separate video that you can check out on the Deco going direct into the interface. And it sounds really close to the Mkgee thing. And I think you could get close with almost any overdrive going direct into the interface. So isn't what's more needed on the market a pedal that makes it sound like it's going direct even though it's going through an amp? Because that's more what I want, and the Gen Loss is not bad at it. So this is just Gen Loss. So anyway, that's my take on the 424 for JHS. Really sweet pedal, but I just wish, because it's got the DI out XLR, which is really cool, but I wish it sounded the way it sounds going through the XLR direct in front of an amp. Anyway, enough on that. Just backtracking a little bit to the Thermae. This is always on dotted eighth for me. And I love playing with dotted eighth, so here's a bit of reverb. And it just enhances certain parts. We have a song called Memories for Free, and it's under my band called Jetson. And it's just got this part at the beginning, and live I love playing around with playing dotted eighth. It sounds really pretty in this part, but it's still a rock song, so feel free to go check that out. That'd be amazing. Having the Thermae on with a larger reverb is kind of just turning down the mix a little bit is a vibe, just kind of playing lead parts as well. I like it when dotted eighth gets a little bit more lost, like you can hear it a little bit, but just strumming more. And moving on to the Deco would be where I keep my solo, or again, kind of ambient rhythm delay. And here's what this sounds like. And I find, again, this tone, it can get lost when you're playing a solo in a really good way. So maybe I'll play that with the Kernom. And it just enhances your solo rather than like takes over the space. And just so you can hear what the delay sounds like. It's pretty prominent, but just a bit more blend to hear. It's just a beautiful sounding delay, and the Deco can do so much, and I use it for so much, but that's where it's been kind of sitting. So when I'm going for like a bigger part or maybe a more ambient part, it's usually with the Blue Sky and the Deco. And finally, speaking of the Blue Sky, this is on the Room with the light mod. I turned it to heavy there. Such a beautiful reverb. And I love using all of these pedals. They're so easy to use. Another favorite that, depending on what I'm doing, I'll switch it to the spring, turn the pre-delay up. Turn the mix up. Decay a bit down. And I just get that swampy kind of blues tone. And finally, it's what's on my favorite, but I'll just show you by pulling it up. Just past 3/4 plate, mod on light, pre-delay down, lows up, highs a bit down, and shimmer off for now. But this is my go-to plate setting. Just really beautiful, gorgeous. Even higher. Back off the mix a bit, turn up the decay. Put some delay on. Right on. If you enjoyed just kind of seeing what I have going on this pedal board, feel free to check out my last pedal board build. It was a lot larger, had a lot more experimental effects. And like I said, stay tuned for the second round subscribers only conversation. Thanks for watching. Welcome to today's second round subscribers only conversation. Today's conversation is just going to be around the topic of chops. And this has been defined differently over the years, but I want your running definition of the term chops. So make sure you put it in the comment section under the thread called second round conversation. My running definition is you're at your peak chops if you can play generally what's in your head. So if you hear fast riffs in your head and you can play them, I think that you're on your way to being, 9 or 10 out of 10 when it comes to chops. If there's things that you're hearing in your head that you're just not able to play or you can't express, then that means you have a little work to do. But all in all, I just think individually, when your chops are at their peak, it's when you can play pretty much exactly what you want to play and what you hear in your head. So again, put your definition in the comment section. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one.